Hey guys, what's going on? It's Red here, and I'm bringing you a new guide today. I haven't made a guide in a while, and this is one that I've kind of promised you guys for a little bit, and I've kind of just been waiting until I got a puzzle box to actually make the guide, so you can kind of guess what the guide's going to be on. A lot of you all struggle with doing puzzle boxes, and a lot of my friends have them actually have me like hop on their accounts and do them for them, just because they don't understand how to do them, or they just can't be bothered with taking the time to do it if it takes so long. So today what I'm hoping to accomplish is show you guys how to accomplish a puzzle box, kind of go over what it is if you don't really know what it is, show you like the most efficient ways to do it, and how I like to do it, and I'll just show you a couple ways and a couple different methods to help you all out. So other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So what are puzzle boxes? Puzzle boxes are puzzles that are randomly given to you during a hard clue scroll on old school RuneScape, as well as elite clue scrolls on RS3. They come in a few different designs, always in a 5x5 style format, where you will move one tile at a time to eventually solve the puzzle box. If you don't know how to complete them, they can be very frustrating. So now I'm going to show you how to use a couple of methods that work for me while learning puzzle boxes, as well as the current method I use. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay guys, so the puzzle box that I'm going to be solving today is actually on old school RuneScape, but it's honestly the exact same format as you would see in a RuneScape 3 puzzle box. So basically, the methods I'm using on here you can apply to the same if you play RuneScape 3. So yeah, I have the old school OS Buddy client expanded out right now because I want to show you a couple of useful features that you can use to help you solve a clue. I never know how to completely solve a clue without actually looking at a complete picture of the completed clue. So that's probably tip number one as far as completing one. So on your OS Buddy client, you'll see this little clue scroll icon at the bottom right. Now, if you don't have this activated, you can actually go into the settings. I'll pull this down a little bit. You can type in clue, and you can see the Legacy Treasure Trail Assistant, and that's the widget that actually appears here. So if you turn it off, that goes away. If you turn it back on, there it is. So I'm going to exit out of this and go in here. And if you click on the puzzle icon near the top, you can actually see the three main puzzle boxes that you're going to see when you're playing old school. However, if you don't have these and you're trying to solve one on RuneScape 3, you can also go to the RuneScape Wikipedia, and I think they actually have a complete list of all the puzzle boxes that are complete, so you can use that to reference to help you out. Okay guys, first things first, so I'm going to actually show you the first method that I ever used to learn how to do clue boxes before I was actually just randomly moving tiles and hoping I could complete it. This method is actually going to allow you to complete the puzzle without having to move around tiles that you've already completed. So in order to solve a puzzle box, you always want to be moving in a left to right fashion, starting from the top left and working your way over to the right. The first three rows are always going to be pretty easy because you can move around the tiles kind of just like as you need to freely, and you're not really impeded much by the bottom rows, because as you get further down into your a fourth and fifth row, the puzzle can get a little trickier, but I'm going to show you some methods later on to kind of help with that. So as you can see to the right, I actually have the tree puzzle, and it's all randomized right now. So I'm just going to match it up, and this might be a long clip, but I honestly don't mind just go ahead and solving this. So I'm going to put this up here. That's already done. We see the brown little tile here, so I'm going to move that over. There we go. Next we have this, and I got lucky that pink tile was actually the last one, so that's the first row completed. Alright, let's move on to the second row. So I'm going to put this here, and let's see, we got the plain brown one right here, and okay, this is working out pretty nicely so far. And we have this tile, let's put that right there. And that worked out as well. We just had to move that tile one up. Alright, so this tile is actually already done for me, as shown right here. Next, we have to move this one up a couple of spaces. Let's see what we got here. Nice. There we go. We got the middle section of the tree next. So I'm going to move that in the middle. Move that over one. Now, I'm actually glad this happened because you'll kind of get to this part sometimes and it'll be like, well, crap, how am I going to get this piece up here without, manipulating some of the stuff that I've already completed? Well, this is actually in a perfect spot because what I'm going to do is, if you kind of follow what I do, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you kind of follow my mouse movements and play back so you can reference it, the last tile that I completed, I'm going to move over, move this up, move this across, and this is what I want all the way to the right. So we're going to put that in front of this tile, And now we're kind of like move them in a circle. And I'm going to have this following it like this, so we can actually get those in perfect spots. So if you kind of have tiles that are inverted and you need to flip them around, you can bring them down here and switch them around, kind of like pull a 180 on them, and so you can get that third row complete. Now that the third row is complete, I'm going to show you kind of how to finish the last 2 rows without still having to manipulate any of the rows that we've already completed. So in essence, we're 3/5 done with the puzzle, so let's move on. Alright guys, so now that we got the left to right done as far in the first 3 rows, the method kind of changes to complete the puzzle. So we're still going to be starting from the left, but instead of going left to right, we're actually on these 4 tiles right here. See where my mouse is? We're going to solve these 2 right here. Once those are complete, we're going to do these 2 boxes, or tiles rather. And once you have these 4 complete, these last 6 that I'm moving my mouse over right now are going to be really easy, and lining them up will really probably be one of the easiest parts of the puzzle. So let's go ahead and get these 2 tiles done, the very far to the left ones. So if we look down here, I need to get this one up, so it's all the way in my bottom right. So I'm going to move this up. You can move all the tiles out of the way. You can affect any of the tiles down here right now because they won't affect any of the rows that we've completed up here. So let me move this out of the way. We got that there. And hey, that tile right here is actually completed as well, so that works out. Now, I'm actually just kind of like, that's not always going to work like that, and that's why making a puzzle box guide is kind of hard, because puzzle boxes are completely randomly generated, and sometimes things that might be easy for me might be completely different and harder for you. So sometimes it's not going to be that easy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit. So let me kind of like mess around with the tiles for a second, and let's kind of see what happens. You can kind of ignore what I'm doing right now. I'm just randomizing the puzzle myself. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think that's randomized enough. So we have this here, but see, this one is not perfectly aligned anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way back, and I'm going to put it, you know, kind of close as I need to, like that. But see, if I kind of like, I can't really move it because any way I do it, I had to find a way to invert these 2 pieces. So what I like to do is, the tile that you want on the top, put that in the bottom, but not yet. I need to get this tile that's supposed to be in the bottom left tile. I'm going to move that away so we can actually move this tile without having to like move this tile as well. And I know this might sound confusing right now, but kind of just like reference back to the video if you need to, and if you need to like rewind a little bit and watch what I'm doing again, that's completely fine. Take your time with this. So you're going to put this tile right here in the bottom for now, and now this tile that we moved over here we can actually move over now, put it in the bottom, and then when we move this tile over we can actually just match it up right there, and it's nice and clean. And that's how you invert the tiles if you need to. So now let's move on to the next one. So we got to have this tile here, and that one's actually really easy. That log just kind of like moved right over, perfect position. So now, now that we have these 4 tiles complete, like we said before, step 1 is just to get these 3 rows done, you know, starting from left to right and working your way over, inverting them if you need to. Then we're moving down to these 4 right here, and we just got those complete. So now the last part of the puzzle is just doing these last 6. So I'm just going to line it up right now. Got that branch there. So now we have to put this guy below it. So I'm going to show you the same method that we used over here without even having to touch them. So I'm going to move this tile, which is supposed to be here. Once again, I'm going to move it completely away from it, from this tile, because this tile has to stay here, but we still have to invert them. So I'm going to put this up here, put this in the bottom, just like we had that in the bottom as well. And now that we have that in the bottom, this is really easy to line up. Let's just bring this tile up here, and now it's going to be nice and clean. We can just move it straight up, and there you go. And that's how you invert the pieces again if you need to. Now you can kind of just tell the picture. You're always going to have like one empty space at the bottom, and if it looks right, then you're probably done. You can double check on the OS Buddy or the Wikipedia or whatever you're using. And that is how you complete the puzzle box, guys. Now, if you all want more examples, I'll be happy to do it. Like I said, it's hard to make a puzzle box guide because they're completely randomly generated, but I did want to show you a couple of tactics that, helped you out and show you how to invert tiles if you need to, because that does happen a lot, and sometimes it won't be as easy as others. So, yeah. And that's basically all there is to it, guys. But if y'all would like to see more examples, I'll be happy to just upload clips of me solving puzzles and reiterating the methods that I'm using right now. But I hope you all gained some insight on how to do clue scrolls today. And if you enjoyed it, please leave me a like down below. And if you like the content I put out, you like the guides and progress videos that I'm doing, feel free to subscribe, as I'm going to upload those very consistently. I'm really loving what I'm doing, and I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.